10 years ago, a fairy by the name of Daisy appeared and asked the child, Eiji Hashimiya, what his one and only wish was. Now, Eiji is a high school student whose only concern is his sick sister. He does not remember what he wished for, all that he remembers is that his wish caused the Great Destruction. In the years since that event, thousands of other people have also received abilities to make their heart's desires come true. These people, called orders, are believed to be evil and are hated by the general public. Upon entering his bedroom, Eiji sees Daisy. He asks if she has increased the number of order users, and she casually comments that it is her job to do so. Daisy remarks that she is like a fairy who grants wishes. She says that he has not been using his power and inquires if he is still upset about the time that he hurt his own sister. She informs him that his memories from 10 years ago were inaccurate and that what he had wished for was not the destruction of the world, adding that she is looking forward to the time when he uses his power again. The next day, the teacher acknowledged the transfer student. The new student introduces herself as Kurenai Rin, and Eiji likes her for her appearance. When Eiji reaches his house, Rin approaches him, proposing a favor, to call a locksmith since her lock is broken and she does not have a cell phone. Eiji tells her to wait a moment and attempts to unlock his house door. Just then, Rin shocks Eiji from behind with a stun gun. Eiji later regains consciousness and realizes that he is in his living room with his hands bound. Rin acknowledges that he has woken up and states that she is here as an assassin to kill him, the order user responsible for the Great Destruction. She explains that she would have never been able to meet him if it weren't for the higher-up order users. She then reveals that her parents were killed in a fire due to the Great Destruction 10 years ago, and she is here to exact her revenge. Soon after, Rin stabs Eiji's hand. Eiji screams in pain from his bleeding hand. Rin attempts to finish him, and he struggles to tell her that the Great Destruction was an accident. Suddenly, the sword is stabbed through Rin's stomach instead. Eiji seizes the opportunity to run while pondering if he has unconsciously activated his power to make the sword act by itself. Eiji calls her sister Sina, and he states that he simply wanted to hear her voice. He promises to drop by since he is near, and Sina tells him she will wait in the lobby after rehabilitation. Eiji arrives at the Hashimiya General Hospital's lobby only to notice soldiers, and Rin somehow totally regenerates and is now holding Sina as her hostage. Eiji demands that she release Sina, and Rin claims that she will do so on the rooftop. She then stabs Sina, saying that if she does not receive treatment immediately, she will die. The soldiers lunge forward to shoot, but Eiji loses control and wakes up in a parking lot where Daisy appears. She explains that Rin lost her parents 10 years ago and was burned to a life-threatening condition herself. On the verge of her death, she wished for her own regeneration and received the order, Rebirth Fire. Daisy explains that, by getting a powerful regeneration, Rin became immortal. She asks what Eiji will do since he cannot defeat Rin in his current state, pointing out that he has no options to escape. Eiji refuses to abandon Sina and questions why Daisy appeared in front of him again. She responds that she looks forward to witnessing him using his power again, remarking that it is a shame that he had forgotten his wish. Daisy pressed Eiji's hand and said that she has limited his power to 0.01%. And with that, he should be able to avoid the same destruction that happened 10 years ago. She urges him to test it out, but Eiji obstinately refuses. Then he reaches the rooftop, and finally he remembers that he didn't wish for world destruction, but he wanted to conquer the world to bring peace. Rin unleashes insane amounts of gunfire on him. Nothing happens, and Rin starts to heal Sina without even wanting to. Eiji then reveals his Binding Dominator, a power that creates a domain in which Eiji rules over anything. Anyone caught in Eiji's domain submits to his will. After he takes over the soldiers, Eiji now moves on to Rin. Eiji angrily forbids her from leaving the domain for her entire lifetime with his power. Also, she will never be able to harm him or Sena. Infuriated by this disgrace, she swings her sword, only for it to stop just short of his body. Her frustration with never being able to avenge her parents. Eiji cools off and tries to reassure her that even if she can't exact revenge, there should be more worthwhile pursuits like going after her dreams or meeting new people. Then suddenly, Lieutenant Abraham Louis Frank shows up. He is also in order and has the power of time. He uses his power to smash Eiji's head into the floor. Eiji wakes up in a cell with a full body restraint on. Not even a moment passes, and Rin shows up and starts to untie him. She explains that he has been captured and is now under the base of the Dazafu City government office. There's a long line of unconscious guards on the floor. It's apparently her doing. She explains that she's only helping him because she's entitled to the sheer pleasure of being the one to end his life. Rin tries to take Eiji through the most dangerous path, so he dies, but all she manages to do is kill herself multiple times. Finally, they find out where Sina is being held, and Eiji wants to save her. But Rin threatens to stop him since he'll definitely lose his life. Eiji reveals that Sina has a blood disease and has less than 6 months left to live. The guards finally catch up to them. Eiji and Rin fight off the soldiers and use their power to apprehend their pursuers. They finally see Sina levitating in a special chamber, and Louis Frank is there guarding her. Rin has warned Eiji that Louis Frank can control time. Eiji tries to use 3 grenades to confuse Frank, but their fight is interrupted when several other orders arrive and stop the battle. The stunned Eiji is now greatly outnumbered. However, the orders start to clap for Eiji and introduce themselves as the Daizu Group of 10. The group's leader, called Yashitsune Hiragi, explains that their mission was never to harm them but instead to have them lead Japan. Since the Great Destruction, the Japanese government has not been able to function, so they could use someone like Eiji to take control. Gathering all his mental fortitude and inner strength, he calls on his power to bind the group of 10 to his domain. Eiji accepts to be the new ruler, as the Dazaifu group promises they will find an order that can cure Sina's illness. After being held prisoner for a while, Rin is released. Eiji is uneasy with this new position, but he goes along with it anyway. He joins a meeting with the rest of the 10, and there he finds out about the mission to conquer Yamaguchi. Eiji is shocked when it seems that he will have to be on the front lines of battle, so he tries to come up with his own strategy. Hanamori, the main strategist, uses his powers on him and tells him not to interfere. Eiji is just a puppet who merely gets to play king. He has no choice but to play along. After the meeting, one of the members of the 10 gives Eiji a gun. Later, the Daizu group starts a broadcast with the Prime Minister. The broadcast is seen live on all screens in Japan. The Prime Minister basically accuses Eiji of controlling the Daizu organization to overturn the government. The Prime Minister then shows several hostages who are family members of the Daizu 10. He starts executing them, so Eiji is shocked and has to think fast. The last execution is Mary's nephew, Kengo. Before Mary can say anything else, Eiji stands up, looking all serious, telling the Prime Minister to purge as many as he wants because it won't matter at all. Taking out the gun and suddenly shooting Mary in the head, he then annihilates every order while the Prime Minister can only watch in shock. Eiji formally declares war. Either they surrender or they face death. The broadcast ends, and it is revealed that Eiji used his power to stop the bullets before they land on anyone's head, and all his allies are alive. This was just a way for him to stop the hostages from being killed. Eiji, Rin, and a couple of soldiers move through the tunnel to arrive at Yamaguchi to conquer it. The tunnel starts to collapse, and they need to run. In the last moments, the same girl who gave Eiji the gun, called Io, shows up. She is part of the 10, and her order is seeing the future. With her power, she manages to save Eiji and Rin. They manage to escape the tunnel before it collapses. The trio continued walking, but Rin got distracted by a Kiruron doll, leaving her behind. Eiji noticed that Io has a strange bunny headband, but when he tries to touch it, Io flies away. She tells him that if anyone touches her headband, she will get pregnant. Rin is attacked by Terra, the ruler of Yamaguchi, and the Rock Order. Eiji is trying to use his power on the Rock God, but to no avail. Io and Eiji escape from the Rock God's havoc, hiding under a tunnel. Io then suggests she'll divine the real location of Rock God's order. Because of Io's injured leg, Eiji has to aid her in walking. However, Eiji loses focus and lets go of Io. Before she can fall to the ground, Eiji holds Io by her rabbit ears, and Io does become pregnant. Spotting Eiji and Rin's escaping forms, Rin rushes towards them, ultimately stopping when she spots an unconscious girl falling to the ground. Then, Terra no Kagekyo, the ruler of Yamaguchi and the Rock God Order, appears before Rin. Terra reveals to Rin that the UN has ordered a nuclear missile to hit Eiji, and it seems that in order to protect their homeland, the Dazaifu government sent Eiji to Yamaguchi so that the nuclear missile could hit there. Meanwhile, Io starts to give birth. Confused and scared, Eiji tries to call for backup, but no one picks up on the other side. Eiji takes Io to the hospital. While there, he realizes that he was the target all along and that no help is coming. Eiji contacts Rin and commands her to attack Terra in order to buy some time. Raising her sword, Rin swings an attack toward Terra, who's able to break Rin's sword in two. Rin then uses her order to regenerate her sword, using it to land an attack on Terra. As the two get into a heated battle, Eiji is now able to contact headquarters, to which Mary informs Eiji that the enemy already knows his exact location. While Terra blocks Rin's attack, she uses her order to petrify Rin's body, victoriously telling Rin that she already knows where Eiji is. Terra's already reported Eiji's location to the higher-ups. Knowing Eiji's location, the UN launches a nuclear missile heading straight toward him. After petrify Rin's, Terra uses the giant rock monster to attack Eiji. At the last second, Eiji manages to use his order power to create a force field. Terra then informs the citizens of Yamaguchi that Eiji is here, the one who caused the great destruction. The people start throwing rocks and attacking Eiji's force field. Meanwhile, Rin is still petrified when one of the 10 arrives, called Major Sundin. It is revealed that Sundin was feeding information about Eiji to the enemy this whole time. With everyone in just the same vicinity, Eiji calls out his order to use Bind Dominator, piercing everyone's hearts to make them cooperate with him to survive. He also uses his order power to control the rock god. He apologizes for all his sins and promises that nobody will be hurt. His plan is to stop the nuclear missile. The rocket is launched, and there are only seconds until impact. When the nuclear rocket comes close, Eiji tries to use his powers to affect gravity. This slows down the rocket just enough for the rock god to be able to catch it. The rocket is still too powerful, but then some members of the 10 show up and help Eiji. They manage to stop the rocket, and it is revealed that the Dazfu government still needs Eiji. Hiragi gets on the line with the UN just before they launch the second nuclear missile. They refuse to make a deal, and a second missile is launched. Eiji and his allies, using the rock god, prepare for the second missile. Terra realizes that Eiji is trying to help, and maybe he isn't such a monster. She gives even more power to the rock god. The missile almost hit, but Eiji, with the help of the others, managed to stop it from exploding. Sundin also transports Rin to the battlefield, and she helps heal the rock god. Through their combined efforts, the missile is stopped. Once more, Hiragi proposes a deal with the UN. If they withdraw, they'll learn the truth about the group themselves. In the background, Ayahito arrives with a little girl Rin's protected the whole time. This was all part of Hiragi's plan. Ayahito would be a double agent, and Eiji a diversion. Their main goal was always to secure this little girl, Tarutama Hikari, an order that could neutralize nukes. The UN can send all the warheads they want, but they won't work anymore. After some time passes, Rin is in the hot springs with the other girls of the Dazfu government. Even Terra has joined them. She thinks about Eiji and her vengeance, and part of her sees him in a new light. Later, Eiji arrives to see that Sina has been transported into a room, and Hiragi is there with her. Eiji attacks him, but Hiragi tells him that his sister has no memory of the incident with Rin, and she thinks everything is normal. Then he tells Eiji that his sister's illness is very advanced, and she only has half a year to live. Sina already has an idea of what's happening, especially since she knows Eiji's the type to take on problems all by himself. Eiji hugs Sina while apologizing to her. Sina starts to cry as she tells Eiji she wants to go to school with him. Hurricane interrupts the siblings' emotional reunion, informing them of a way for a cure. Sina's only chance is Kami Musubai, an order living in Izumo who has the power to heal incurable diseases. Later, Sina is taken in her wheelchair to a special room by Hiragi. There, Eiji shows up and wants to get back his sister, but Hiragi tells him they will test if she has the potential to become an order. Hiragi also uses his order to overpower Eiji and command him to conquer Japan. Eiji and Rin go all over Japan as he uses his powers to slowly take over several cities. He takes over the Yakuza and other organizations that have power over the cities and their citizens. While on their travels, Eiji and Rin grow closer. They start sharing food, and slowly, the fire of vengeance in Rin's heart starts to weaken as they both grow closer. A man with a red eye then appears in the distance. His power is so great that even Io senses him. While Rin is getting herself and Eiji some food, that same man appears behind her and releases her from Eiji and his order domain. She now has total freedom to kill Eiji. The Yakuza now seem to be attacking Eiji, and he is confused as to why his powers did not work. He is confronted by Hattori Hanzo, who turns out to have the same powers as Eiji. Rin shows up and attacks Eiji, who is also revealed to have the same eye as Hattori. The rest of the members of the Dazfu show up to help, and it is revealed in battle that Hattori is being controlled by someone else, a man with a red eye. Rin fights her former comrades and Eiji. Hiragi also arrives and uses his order to change fact into fiction to heal everybody. An enraged Hiragi quickly punches Hattori as Ayahito joins the fight. But before it can escalate, Hattori commands Rin to escape with him. Eiji is confused about what happened, but then Daisy appears. She reveals that the one behind this is Eiji's biological father, Hashimi Genai. Eiji doesn't believe this new information about his father, as he died 10 years ago when the Great Destruction happened. After some time, to take his mind off the situation, Eiji and Io are sent on a mission. The whole time, Io is thinking about her feelings towards Eiji. Meanwhile, Eiji is thinking about Rin and what she is doing. They arrive at their mission location, and suddenly the cave starts crumbling on them while a woman is ringing her bells. With Io in his arms, Eiji commands her to use her power. Io gets a prediction that they need to go straight. The bells ring once more, and the ground where the two are standing falls into the water. Io later wakes up to Eiji's relieved face. They dry off with their backs to each other. Io then begins confessing her feelings, but then some mysterious people appear. One of them introduces herself as Kuroko, the priestess of Izumo. She promises to help Eiji's sister with her illness if both he and Io win a game against her. The trials start, and at the end, with both of their combined powers, they manage to win. Right before Kuroko accepts to help, Fumai, who is also part of PS6, the same organization that Eiji previously faced, appears. Fumai casts Super Inundation, Isotonic Water, and Flash Flooding on the three. Water isn't really something Eiji can dominate, so he uses his order to control air instead, placing the three of them in an air bubble. Realizing the trickery, Fumai dives into the water with his spear. Kuroko then instructs Eiji to merge with Io again and unite their wishes. Grasping their hands together, the two wish to protect each other, unleashing an upgraded avatar. It can now precisely predict attacks. Predicting Fumai's next move, their avatar easily stops his attack. As a final move, the two launch schools of fish toward Fumai. Later, Fumai reveals that Daisy is actually a program that is used to locate orders. Daisy opens a portal to Rin and the others. A samurai order uses his powers and kills Kuroko. Outside, 2 body bags of Fumai's and Kuroko's have been retrieved. Later, Eiji and Hiragi talk, and finally, Hiragi explains what Eiji's father really did. Hiragi were scientists together, and their work included turning wishes into powers. Genai was always a good man, until one day he changed. He created a program called Daisy that had the capacity to turn wishes into powers. Genai then killed the lab and betrayed Hiragi. Eiji can't believe what he is hearing. Momotaro, one of the PS6, infiltrated the Darafu City government office on his mission to kidnap Sina. He is confronted by some of 10 members, but his power is to enhance his physical strength. He avoids all of the attacks by 10 members, but when he is about to run toward the room of Sina, he is surprised by some soldiers waiting for him and launched a missile into her face. However, this is only a ruse to divert attention away from them and snatch Sina from his room, and Eiji tries going after them but fails. He later goes out on a journey with Sundin to find his sister. It is revealed that Genai plans to unleash the second Great Destruction, and while Sina decides that she will confront her father to try and save her. Sina and Rin go out to eat before the meeting, where they connect and share a meal. Rin also tries to prepare Sina for the interview. When Sina arrives, she sees Genai, and she notices that he doesn't look like the father she remembers. He hugs her and tells her in order. Genai had this whole thing planned, and he uses Sina to announce to the world that Eiji is evil and needs to be stopped. Genai then picks up a weak Sina and takes her away. Eiji arrives at the building while Rin and Louis Frank try to stop Genai, but they are defeated. Eiji arrives with an elevator and tries to save Sina. Suddenly, a giant sword slash is unleashed on the building. Eiji gets both his arm and leg cut off, and all the reporters and people in the building die because of the destruction. Genai tells Eiji that he will use Sina once again to begin a great destruction and that Eiji has a role to play. Right before he leaves, Eiji activates his powers and regenerates, which even impresses Genai. Later, the news blamed Eiji for all the deaths, and it seems that Daisy is monitoring people's feelings as hate and anger are spreading. Later, Eiji awakens in a lab with Io by his side. She tries to seduce him, but he refuses her advances as he cannot betray Sina. He explains that she is all he has. He then tells Io that Genai is not his father, but it is revealed that Daisy used an avatar to alter his memories. Eiji and Sina both remembered their father being kind, and he looked different. This was all a way to make them forget. Elsewhere, Hiragi and his team start an attack on Genai's base of operations. Genai and Sina talk, where he reveals that it was Eiji who begged him to hurry up with his research so that they could cure Sina. In his desperate attempt to cure Sina, Genai discovered the gate theory, which showed him that while our bodies are in this world, our minds are in a different reality. He also makes Sina remember everything. It wasn't Eiji who caused the great destruction, but it was Sina all alone. She first made a wish that opened the gate and created the orders, revealing that she had destroyed the world. Suddenly, Rin tried to attack Genai, but got pushed away and fell into the water. Eiji arrives just in time, and Genai tries to reason with him, showing him that this process will allow him to live any life he wants, in any universe he wants. Eiji refuses, and he goes after his sister. He awakens Sina, and she stabs him. She remembers everything. It is revealed that after Sina opened the gate to the other world, she couldn't control her powers, and that is what caused the great destruction. Seeing his sister devastated by what she has done, Eiji developed a power that shifts her memories to him. She woke up sick in bed and didn't remember anything. On the other hand, he convinced himself that he had caused all the destruction. In the present, Sina is furious at her brother for lying and wants to open the gate again to make him happy. Sina cuts off his hand and falls down into a pit where Rin is also trapped. There, the two connect, and with their love, they are able to heal and power up. The gate begins to open, and Eiji and Rin attack Genai, with Hiragi and his allies also helping them. Finally, Hiragi uses his powers with his allies and kills Genai. With the help of the Iron God, the portal remains stable, and Eiji finds the original Daisy. There, he wishes for one final wish. She warns him that if he loses control, another great destruction will happen. Eiji keeps calm and manages to reverse everything. The gate is forever closed, which means no more orders. Everyone returns to normal, and Eiji is now hailed as the hero who saved the universe. We see Eiji, Rin, and Io all waiting for Sina to celebrate her birthday, as now she is healthy and happy. The anime ends here. Thank you for watching till the end, and please don't forget to subscribe.